Episode 23. Tanhua shivered when she saw Nanshen come back to her place again after he put down his handkerchief. She had to quickly apologize. Boss, forgive me. I didn't mean to prank you or anything. Tanhua sobbed as she finally could speak again. Nanshen was actually about to make Tanhua bungee jump from the 3rd floor without a rope, but he cancelled his plan the moment he saw Tanhua's teary eyes. Why the hell does he always have a soft spot whenever he sees this boy about to cry? He usually enjoys it though. Hush, never mind then. I forgive you, but punishment will still be punishment. I'll give you your punishment later. For now. Nanshen took a step forward as he loosened up his tie in a sexy way. What? Tanhua subconsciously moved back even though her back already met the wall. You have to learn how to put a necktie. Nanshen threw his necktie onto Tanhua's head as he removed his suit and tossed it casually onto his chair. So hot. Nanshen mumbled as he unbuttoned the 1st and 2nd button of his shirt. It was already April, meaning it was spring now. The weather shouldn't be hot as today was still spring and there was air conditioning in the room, but for some reason, Nanshen felt hot. Maybe it was because he was too nervous meeting his goddess earlier? Or maybe because he was tired disciplining his doggo? Nanshen sighed and looked at the frightened Tanhua with his eyebrow raised handsomely. Why are you acting so scared? I'm not going to make you jump from this floor, so come here now. Nanshen sat down at his table as he crooked his finger, asking Tanhua to come closer. Of course, with his necktie still on top of Tanhua's head. Tanhua hesitated for a while, but in the end, since her hand was still handcuffed, she chose to be obedient for now. Tap, tap, tap. Boss, can you release this handcuff first? Tanhua sneaked a peek at Nanshen's face as she carefully asked. This devil said he was going to teach her how to put on a necktie, but he still hadn't released this handcuff. How could she learn then? Why should I? Stay still like that and watch. Nanshen stepped down from the table as he took his necktie off Tanhua's head. Tanhua thought she would be the one watching Nanshen put the necktie on himself, but what Nanshen did next was enough to make her faint from a heart attack. Struck. Nanshen put the necktie on Tanhua's neck as he got a serious expression on his face. In order to do that, Nanshen very naturally lowered his head and his back a lot in order to match his eyesight with Tanhua's neck area. Because of this, Nanshen's face was now so damn close to Tanhua's face. Thump! 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 The boss! Tanhua was startled and was about to move back to avoid Nanshen's face when Nanshen held Tanhua's collar with his hand. Don't move. You keep quiet and watch. Nanshen very skillfully began to tie the necktie on Tanhua's neck while ignoring the poor girl's heart. Tanhua could feel her face become as hot as hell and her heart beat faster and faster. She could see Nanshen's fluffy hair and his handsome face right in front of her eyes. The sunlight of the bright morning came through the window, highlighting Nanshen's perfect jaw to the extreme. The usually evil Nanshen now looked like a god. So handsome, so fucking handsome. Even though his personality is the worst, his face alone is enough to be eye candy. B-Boss Nan's handsome face is right in front of her. She can enjoy this eye candy as she pleases. She can die a peaceful death now. Done. Do you get it? Nanshen raised his back again as he asked Tanhua, who was being mesmerized by Nanshen's face. Tanhua looked down at her clothes and was instantly snapped out of her love-struck state. She was too focused on enjoying Nanshen's face that she forgot to see how he worked on the necktie. Boss, I can't see it clearly since your head was blocking my view earlier. The goddess of lying, Tanhua, quickly made a perfect excuse to save herself. If Nanshen knew she wasn't paying attention, then she would die. For sure. You're right. Eesh, then let me do it one more time. Nanshen was oblivious to Tanhua's lie, as indeed it was hard to observe how to tie a necktie when he was blocking Tanhua's eyesight. Nanshen walked behind Tanhua and stopped his step right behind Tanhua's back. Tanhua still didn't know what Nanshen would do now when the next thing she knew struck. Nanshen now stood behind Tanhua as he began to loosen up the necktie on Tanhua's neck. Nanshen lowered his head to the point of reaching Tanhua's neck and whispered, "Now you can see my hands, right?" Nanshen's voice was so close to Tanhua's ear that she nearly jumped out of shock. Her hands were still being handcuffed, so she felt extremely uncomfortable having Nanshen in such a close distance when she herself couldn't do anything. Too close, boss! You're too close. Yes, boss. Tanhua's voice was shaking as she suddenly felt nervous. The boss was right behind her. How could she not panic? Nanshen then began to slowly teach Tanhua how to tie a necktie. He demonstrated it step by step as he also gave an explanation to Tanhua to help her learn faster. Tanhua was focusing her gaze on Nanshen's beautiful fingers, moving around to create a knot, and suddenly she felt something wasn't right. Wasn't the boss kinda weird today? The boss wasn't like his usual self. He looked like an angel now. Truly a genuine pure angel. Usually he would scold her and bully her if she made a mistake, but now, boss went as far as teaching her how to tie a necktie. This was a rare thing. Bath up. Tanhua's heart once again suddenly beat faster as Nanshen continued to show Tanhua how to tie a necktie. She was suddenly self-conscious. In such a close distance, Tanhua could sniff Nanshen's fresh smell coming from his perfume. It smells good, refreshing. Not only that, Tanhua could also feel Nanshen's hair brushing past her cheek as his hand moved to tie the necktie on her neck. It was a tickling sensation, which was quite weird for her. But she didn't hate it. Along with the sound of her heart beating faster, Nanshen finished his demonstration on how to tie a necktie. "Min done. This time you can see me clearly, right?" Nanshen moved away from Tanhua as he nodded his head in satisfaction. "Yes." Tanhua quickly lowered her head in order to hide her red face. Just why was she acting weird now? Good. Then I want to see you try it. Nanshen rubbed his chin, looking very handsome. What? Boss wants her to try tying the necktie? How could she? Her hands were still handcuffed. Did she have to tie the necktie using her teeth? Ooksh, but boss, my hand is still handcuffed. You have to release me first. Tanhua shook her hand as she looked at Nanshen with pleading eyes. Anyway, she felt weird being handcuffed like this. She felt as if she was playing a BDSM movie or something. In the first place, where the hell did Nanshen get this handcuff? Was it normal for a CEO to keep handcuffs in his office? It wasn't. As expected of a sadist, this guy must have dreamed to play BDSM one day. How scary. Sorry, forgot. Nanshen casually walked and released Tanhua from the handcuff. Unfortunately, the handcuff was still a new one and had a sharp part inside. When Nanshen released the handcuff accidentally scratched Tanhua's wrist a little. Ouch. Tanhua hurriedly retracted her hand as she looked at her wrist with a pained expression. It hurts. Whoa, are you alright? Nanshen, who was very calm earlier, suddenly turned worried. He didn't know the handcuff had a sharp part. It was an accident. It's alright. Tanhua pressed on her wrist as she watched a drop of blood come sliding down from her wrist. Damn, it hurts. Wait, you are not alright. Nanshen caught Tanhua's back collar as he dragged her to the sofa. Wait there. Nanshen then hurriedly went to his desk and seemed busy finding something. Tanhua was rather taken aback by how Nanshen's attitude was so much nicer now. Could it be because he was in a good mood since Mishu came here? Niet. That pain again. How many times had her chest hurt this morning? It was only 2 hours since she came to work, and she already felt pain in her heart several times already. Forget it. Now she had to focus on treating her wound. When Tanhua was immersed in her own thoughts, Nanshen came and tossed a brand new handkerchief into Tanhua's palm. Pluck. Wrap the wound with that. For now, let's wait for Wu Yin to come, then we can treat your wound. Nanshen casually threw the handkerchief to Tanhua's palm as he sat down on the sofa across from Tanhua's place. Thanks, boss. Tanhua quickly tried to wrap and tie the handkerchief, but since she could only use one hand, it was so difficult. Nanshen, who was watching Tanhua trying to tie the handkerchief, even got impatient when he saw how clumsy Tanhua was. Eesh, this doggo is really useless. Grab.